All right, we back, and we just saw. Hold up, let me run that back. All right, we back, and we just saw the Book of Clarence. Thoughts? Hakeem, do your thing.
All right, plot summary according to the internet. Down on his luck, man struggles to find a better life for his family while fighting to free himself of debt. Captivated by the power and glory of the rising Messiah, he risks everything to carve out his own path to a divine life, ultimately discovering that the redemptive power of belief may be his only way out.
All right, so there's a lot of people here, so I'm just gonna pass the mic. We're gonna start with Enoch and just send it in the circle. Okay. Just take it, say it, and then send it on.
One thing I really enjoyed about the movie was the fact that they actually used foreign characters or foreign actors rather than having Americans fake an African accent.
Right.
Like it was just so I'm Nigerian, so it was just really nice hearing Nigerians and Ghanaians talk in a foreign accent rather than having an American force an African accent. Like that felt so refreshing. And he also made the jokes, even though they were easy jokes, it to me made them not corny.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh shit.
Let's
You're
go back.
next.
All right. Well, I think the casting for Jesus could have not been better. It was great. I love the casting for Jesus on this one. I did. I took Jesus very seriously on this one. I mean, I'm a fan of Lakeith. Lakeith Stanfield is one of the best. So I wasn't expecting a comedy, so I bought all his jokes. They were great timing. I did feel at the beginning there was some clear exposition dialogue, which I didn't dig, but the film kind of made up for that. And yeah, great casting for Jesus. What's up?
You did that. Okay. Let's see. I thought the movie was excellent. I love to see that many black people. I like how it was a combo story where it was Jesus' story and Clarence's story, and then we saw Benedict Cumberbatch come in and kind of covered all the actual the basis of what it might be for this story to coexist with the real story of the Bible.
We're locked.
No, dude's right there. Yeah. We'll just hindsight until then. Or I guess this guy can probably let us in, but I'll wait. Yeah, great casting. Everybody did a wonderful job. You see Omar Sy, he's that dude. He played Lupin and does a lot of Netflix movies. I don't think I've seen him in a film like that. I liked his character. I liked all the characters. Tiana Taylor, great job.
Who was Lakeith's character's mother?
Shoot, I can't remember.
That was a great character.
Not to mention Lakeith playing two characters. I loved that as well.
Three characters, because it was one of them were it was his twin brother, and then a third one was part of an innovation. I don't know.
Okay. Are we?
That was the content. Because at first he knew was dupe. He knew the kids knew what he was duping people, and even though it was the last option he had, he didn't want to do it because he was kind of showing that he was a nobody by doing something like that. So that was his conscience trying to convince, that was his conscience trying to convince him to stop, and then he was wrestling with what he was doing at that point. So it was just going back and forth with how his brain was processing during that period. But it was really nice. It was a good movie.
His mother, that was a great character.
Yeah, I also liked the how the story came round full circle.
What do you think of the romance between Lakeith and her romantic interest? What do you think of that?
That was.
It was tough to watch because they weren't very communicative, or they weren't talking.
Oh, good. Okay.
You guys hear?
What do you think of the romance in this film?
You said what?
The romance. I thought they were gonna kiss before jail. Let's say that.
You thought they were gonna what?
Kiss before going to jail. I thought they were gonna be
Same.
Yeah.
That took too long.
Took too long.
That took too long.
For me.
I think
But I'm a romantic, so it took too long for me.
That one took way too
They were
long.
trying to make sure that because when you think about it, the way the way Clarence was in the film, he was someone that always found his way even like around things, just because of how cunning he was. And I felt they wanted like the love interest in his life to be something that he worked really hard for, and it didn't come easy.
Well, he definitely worked really hard for that. He worked really hard with it. But he didn't die. I mean, he made it. He got it at the end.
He died, but then it didn't stick.
Oh yeah, that was a major spoiler. But I mean, yeah, here.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, the movie looked really good. Like, I was wondering, like, where they shot that, and like all the backgrounds, and it was just like, there's no like modern buildings or anything, and like it looked real. I mean, there could have been CGI.
Oh, definitely. There was a scene. There was the what's it called? Spoiler alert. So the time when Clarence and his brother were talking.
Yeah.
In the what's it called? In the disciples
Yeah.
place where they had
disciples.
Oh man,
yeah.
the last supper.
That that was
yeah.
that I could literally, I could tell that there was
That was hilarious.
there was a wall there. The time when both of them were in the room.
Like a
Yeah.
fake wall.
That, no, I could tell that there was a volume.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
there was I could tell.
Oh,
I could tell.
that's
I could tell
interesting.
from that.
Oh, that probably
So-
makes sense, because I was thinking like, man, they're showing the deep background a lot, but if they're using the volume,
I
that's
could tell. I could tell that was
Were any of you expecting a comedy like
No.
that kind of vibe?
Yeah,
from
I
the
was.
trailer? From the
I
trailer.
thought-
Yeah.
I didn't watch the trailer,
I
so I
didn't
went in
watch
blind,
that.
and I was not
Stanfield
expecting
usually
a
is
comedy.
in like things that have comedic elements to them.
There you go. Yeah.
I was kind of expecting. Even if it was like an introspective comedy, but here Hakeem is hating on the movie.
I
Why?
didn't
No, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I was just a little bit disappointed. I love the religious satire aspect. It's very like Monty Python.
I feel like it is
Not all the
I
way.
love the little cinematic kind of flourishes, the kind of
Oh,
heightened
like when they would come
reality.
in, yeah, that was wonderful. When they do like the ticks in, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
cut in,
Yeah.
cut
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
cut in.
So
That-
filmmaking,
yeah.
directing on point for sure. I feel like the messaging was a little muddled for me.
What was the messaging?
It's like he didn't believe until he literally saw fucking like Jesus, like God blessed him. So I don't feel like he completed that arc
I mean,
of
but
him.
no, but he was just doing the right thing. I feel like it wasn't.
I
even
guess, yeah, it was about his
didn't he
family,
get, like,
his
freed
brother,
all the
like, he
slaves?
That's
was-
what made him, what motivated him to end up
Yeah,
doing
like
the
it
right
was
thing.
such a quick transition of, oh, I'm gonna free the slaves, even though all he did was wanted to impress this girl, and
Well, but he didn't free the slaves to impress the girl. He freed
well,
the
no,
slaves
he
to
initially
free the
wanted,
slaves.
yeah. I'm just saying, like there was such a quick.
I think the place where he started switching was when, like I was explaining about his conscience, that conscience scene where you kind of saw him breaking into his conscience, trying to convince him to go for, like, to keep doing it. Deep down, he knew what he was doing was wrong, but because he was trying to prove that he was a nobody to both his brother, the girl, and also to get money, he felt like he had to do
Get
that.
money. He could
Yeah.
have easily given that, when he kind of pretended to be the Messiah, like he
Yeah.
could have easily, not had that beef with this guy.
I think what happened was because he had all, at that point he had enough money
Exactly,
to clear
exactly.
to clear his debt.
And he
But it
just
was-
kept, trying to just take advantage of people and keep the money. You know what I mean?
But that's when the conscience thing happened. Remember, because at that point when his friend spoke to him that they had enough money that they should go pay. The next thing we see is he's got a downcast face, and the next thing is him going to pay for the slaves. So the way I see it is, while doing all that work, he got the money that he needed, and of course, he being greedy, he got more money.
Yes.
But when his conscience caught up to him, rather than using the money to clear up the debt that he had, he used
Yes.
to clear his conscience by going to
Yes.
release the slaves that just as proof that I'm not a bad person.
Yeah. No, I get that. It just was a very quick kind of quick switch.
feel
It
like
was
my
maybe
fa-
like it was just like a couple of scenes, and then his conscience changed, and
kinda like
he
a
wanted to
montage a
give,
little bit.
buy out the slaves and whatever.
Oh, you're right.
But-
if you're going to downtown.
I feel like my favorite thing was in the beginning when it was like kind of like the slice of life, like they're just fucking smoking the blunt in the back of the cart, and it's like almost like so normal. You know what I mean? It's
awesome.
like
I love
fucking
that
like
opening.
just doing their fucking. It's
Yeah.
like fucking
Well,
watching like Friday. or
That's what I
something.
love. I'm like, switch it up, like do a religious satire, like and that's my favorite aspect of it.
It was
all those
both,
the
though,
idea
but
things,
it
the
was
little.
a religious satire at the same same time being reverent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got you.
I liked it the most when it was like they're just like, oh, Jesus is over there, and we're doing our thing. I thought that, and then
That was a good scene.
Jesus
That
was holding
good.
space.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So that was my favorite aspect, but I feel like the arc just I didn't necessarily buy
I bought
his.
it, but at the end of the day, it was like he. And I
like,
don't want to say it like
I don't
that, but he was
believe-
being
I
used
know.
by God. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone was almost like using
yes,
him
he
a
wanted to
certain
do a
kind of
good
way.
thing, but like he never really ever believed until it was right in front of his.
But he
fucking
did the
eyes.
right thing, though. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
God found him. You know what
And
I
I
mean?
think when you think about it also, might be like a reflection of life today when it comes to Christianity, how people that don't believe need a literal miracle to happen in front of them
Real talk.
before
That's
that.
true.
So I think that could also maybe be like them trying to do a juxtaposition of what's going on in real life to the movie and just connect it that way. Because I also felt that I mean, if you're talking to an unbeliever as a Christian, the question they would ask was, well, let God perform a miracle. And that's literally what Clarence was doing also
Yeah.
to when he actually
He
saw
is,
an
but
act like
yeah.
a like
and maybe
an
that's
actual miracle.
commentary too, because why don't more people believe when it's literally right in front of their damn
I haven't
face?
seen somebody walk on water yet.
But
You know?
I guess
Like-
they even said in the movies like Clarence, you're counter because you're being fake and you're making it harder for people to believe what we're doing. You know, like his brother was saying that.
Yeah.
He was like so.
Yeah.
But then I guess
trying
they,
to like profit off of
Religion, yeah, he was.
religion.
yeah,
But then he freed the slaves with it, so you know.
yeah.
Also, it's like you gotta fight this slave in order to free him. Like, what? Like, why wouldn't you just lose automatically?
It was a clear trap.
Yeah, but I agree. But and he
ran out
did
of chocolate
kind of
prison or
lose.
something.
But I think he was fighting him because it was like
Yeah,
at first
yeah,
his
but I
pride.
gotta-
He
I
felt like
gotta
his
see
pride
what
was
you're
on the
about.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you know, you gotta use some little tricks. And I was like, at first I was like, how did he know? But then he was like, oh yeah, you gotta
I'm from
fight
the
dirty.
streets.
You gotta
Yeah.
fight dirty.
I'm from
I
the
like that.
Jerusalem
We fight for our lives.
Yeah, I thought Barabbas was my favorite.
Easily, he was
So
going
the-
crazy.
I feel like the first half of the movie I thought was better than the second
Wrong
half.
heel.
Wrong heel. That's crazy. I'm surprised they didn't do like because I had to jog my memory about who Barabbas was, but he was the dude that got released instead of Jesus.
Yep.
And whatever, so like he was arrested in real life and
Yeah.
stuff, and then the prisoners were like okay, or they're like we'll release one prisoner. Everyone's like give us Barabbas.
Yeah, it's a Jesus.
So you expected okay he's gonna get arrested and that's gonna how it like ties in.
They were taking some liberties, but at the same time, again, it was like the best story you could tell to insert a new character in there who did a lot of the suffering and took a lot of the things, but still Jesus was there. Jesus did perform miracles, and then there was white Jesus. So it was like it covered all the bases. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was clever.
And why Jesus was the best casting? No one else. I should play that character
Yeah.
ever.
That was definitely the
I
most
would've
Monty
believed
Python
no one
type
else.
thing in the whole movie. It's like
And
him
when he's
somehow-
shooting the money out of his palm and spinning around.
At first I thought I immediately knew it was Benedict.
Yeah.
But at first I thought he was like sent.
I thought he
from
was
the
secretly God or
apostles
something.
to-
'Cause
to-
he showed him in the beginning. It's like,
Yeah.
that's Doctor Strange.
First scene, I know it's sudden again. I see him again for no reason. Like
Yeah.
he bumps up into him. Okay, it's definitely got a big role to play.
Bro, I didn't even realize that was. I was like, who is this dude doing blackface? And it was Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, come
Okay.
on.
Let's go. Let's see where
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
see, his name in the credits is also James McAvoy, who I was
I was
surprised
looking-
didn't do
yeah, I was
more.
looking
Because
up.
like they
You
cast
know
like
what?
that dude in it. And he was
But
just
he
like,
did a good job in that
Yeah.
role. For
Yeah.
that little bit of time, he
Yeah.
was being that general, and I bought
He
that.
needed to be believable.
Yes, I
Yeah.
bought that. I bought that.
Yeah.
And some of the other guy, I did not like the other general. He was pissing me
the
off.
Only,
The little
the
kid?
only two
No,
Romans in the world.
the old man one who was just
Yeah.
hating on, like,
Like,
had the
yeah,
slanderous
yeah,
tongue.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking
And then little
crazy.
fucking like the Joffrey from Game of Thrones looking.
Oh, he was
too- yeah,
totally
yeah.
like looks like in there and just like the
Hand me
smarmy.
into the spear. I'm like, bro.
Dude's got a fucking arm on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Laser
grabbed him.
That was
Grabbed him.
And he was actually hitting every time. That was
Yeah.
like 3
Bought
hits.
the wrong heel though.
Yeah.
Wrong hill. Hey, sorry to that dude who went
There's-
over there to go check.
There's this point in the fight scene, the gladiator fight scene, when Brad was just like fucking backhanding him. I lost it.
Well, it's like when you, bro,
really
it's like
funny.
when the slap messed up his head.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and he's just like
that
fucking
was
his bell got rung for like a minute.
It was longer than a minute, bro's like
like-
hallucinated shit.
Was he wearing like the mask from Gladiator too, or was that just like me who was like thinking, you know, like
That
movie-
Trojan-looking
Yeah,
mask.
it looked- it looked
I
like-
mean, I feel like
I
it was
wouldn't put it
probably that
past the
same.
movie, 'cause
Yeah,
it felt like that
legit.
kind of funny
yeah.
sort of reference there. But
That
yeah,
was
What would you
awesome.
rank it out of 10?
You asking me? I'm going 9.5.
We already doing that?
I mean,
I'm here for it. My phone doesn't have much juice, so.
I'm gonna say a 7.5 because I feel like it's just like I wanted him to be more different than Jesus. I feel like they just had him follow everything that Jesus did at the end, like
that was kind of
everything, including getting stabbed. I know that there's like, oh, they're arresting all the Messiah, so it was like, okay, that's kind of like what it's like. So
But Jesus never got arrested.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it made, and I guess we didn't need to see Jesus get arrested because we saw what was happening to him. I don't know. I need to think about
Clarence's
it.
sacrifice was for Jesus,
The
so that
entire
we all
first
could be
half,
saved.
like the entire first half of the movie, I was like solid 8.5, and then just sort of like wanted to just, I don't know. I need to process it.
We'll be
Same.
back.
I like what was happening, but towards the end, I think it faltered a little bit. So
Just was
I'll
so
say 7.
creative the first half.
So I'll give it an 8.5, and that's you're right about like definitely the first half of the movie was the strongest because of just how creative like it was.
Yes,
it was something
legit.
different.
They were getting high.
But then, exactly. But then it was more or less like the movie ended going into a familiar like territory.
Yeah.
And I think
do
it was something
appreciate
that they did on purpose because they
Yeah.
like even though at the end of the day it's a satire on Christianity, I think they still didn't want to go overboard and go completely against what is known already in the Bible. And I think what they decided to do was just to leave the end of the scene in a way to wrap that story. Because they were creative and that was lovely. Like that was like I did not expect them to go that way, and that was nice. Like that was refreshing. But I felt like it was more or less like, okay, get back to the roots for that final chapter and wrapping the story. I think that was all.
Yeah, I was not expecting, as I said, this kind of like comedic type of film. I was expecting something serious or like either like going into horror a bit, just because I know like Heath is like has that presence. But I'll definitely put like a solid 8. Just because at first I didn't like this positional dialogue. I didn't like oh yeah, they're explaining what happened instead of showing me, and I don't like that in films. But then once I got like what type of film it was, for sure I had fun, and I appreciated like the cinematography and the music and the acting. The acting was impeccable. Yeah,
The music. The dance number. They just have a dance number.
That dance number is so epic.
Like literally the entire production.
I'm going 8.2 just because of that dance number. Yeah.
So good.
Like I feel like the entire production was just like top notch. Like it looks great, it sounded great, the acting was great, and whatever. It's just,
Cinematography on point.
cinematography was like awesome. It was it's firing on all cylinders. Oh, I did. I thought it was like, well, okay, like I'll say 8 because I feel
Okay,
like
okay.
Bumped it up.
because I did enjoy the first half so much. I was just really along for the ride, especially because they would have just like I like the sort of Bible adjacent stuff.
Yeah.
And then they'd have so many stylistic things. Like I forgot about the floating. Like that was like it was just sort of like what the fuck is
Why
this?
can I not do
It was
that?
just like,
Yo,
it
that
made
was.
the movie feel really
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's
the
realism. It was like
That's where I
lightly
understood what type of film.
Yeah,
it
and
was.
then
Like,
the light
yeah,
bulbs
this-
above his head and
Yeah.
shit like that. Where I'm like, okay, this is like
Every
really
time he's
fun.
smoking, it's-
I want more movies. To be
What
fun
was
like
the light
that.
bulb at the end? Was I trying to say something, or did I
He's
just miss
enlightened.
that?
And he
Oh,
just-
he was enlightened. Oh, okay. Oh, I was like, that's
Makes
legit.
sense,
Yeah. Because he did it without smoking that time.
Yeah.
He flipped the
That's true.
switch.
Yeah, wasn't weed legal in the ancient times or whatever?
Apparently
I don't know.
not.
Yeah, that's
You know, apparently that would get you carrying across up a hill and getting lashings.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yep. So I guess the moral of the story is don't get crucified,
Yeah.
or maybe do.
sure.
No, I'm just joking.
A fun film for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely.
see it multiple times once it comes out on digital for sure.
I mean, I'd
Oh, that's
recommend
a
it to
stream.
people.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it
streaming
was-
through that.
I'm surprised that because I feel like January is usually the dump month for movies.
But this was solid.
This was like, unexpectedly like I didn't know what to expect. I didn't watch the trailer. I like Lakeith Stanfield. I thought the idea of it's okay, some modern Bible epic that could be interesting.
Same. I
You
didn't
know?
think that it would connect so much with like the traditional story. I thought it was going to be its own branch, and it was like, even though we saw Jesus, it was going to be like an outside thing. But it, I guess, like everybody said, it did start to blend into the traditional story near the end, versus it just being like the Book of Clarence was him going off and doing something and not even. I thought he was going to go through all of that and then not get crucified. You know what I mean? And be outside of all that because Clarence is outside of all that.
Yeah.
But
Do you know the name of the actor that played Jesus? couldn't name him.
I couldn't either.
It's funny
But-
that you liked him. So I thought I was like, man, I wish they cast someone with a little bit more magnetism as Jesus there.
Oh no, I thought he
I
did a
thought it was
great
subtle.
job.
That's what I liked
Oh,
about it.
when my guy came
yeah,
out with the hood
it
on,
was-
I was like, oh crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it was like, I don't know, like someone.
Yeah. I thought they were never gonna show. Didn't it seem like they weren't gonna show his face at all? I would have been totally okay with that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
they did end up showing him. But
They
it
did,
would have been
yeah.
better if he was
To
just
me-
in
to me
shadow
it was
off some
subtle,
Sith shit.
but still like
That's fair. Because
powerful but
understated.
calm.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
I did not expect to see that. I didn't know how they were gonna play the miracles.
Mary Magdalene.
That I guess sexed the Romans.
That's
Yeah,
Mary
Mary
Magdalene is the
Oh,
character. Yeah.
That's the TT.
He was looked like he was smashing up on Mary. Jesus had some impure thoughts going on. He said that's canon.
Yeah.
Come with me.
He sure did. Just said, come with me.
There's at some point when someone said, "Oh, Jesus like came upon me," and like he'd have this reaction
Yep.
shot. I was like, man,
Yeah.
Oh, he came.
Bro, I was dying on that scene, bro.
Like everyone
I was
else was
dying on
thinking it.
that
I'm
scene.
glad they showed it. Like, yeah, it's like he was like got a little eye. And that was like, it was pretty funny. It's a funny movie.
Great lines too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Amazing.
Yeah, the Roman. There's
Amazing
only
dialogue
two Romans
stabbing.
in the entire city that did anything. Were like the two boss Romans there,
Yeah, right.
like, and then like the Weasley sort of like, you know, like whatever. Just,
I-
they're always British too.
I
like,
did
'cause
feel,
it's
yeah,
insane, kind of
like the Empire and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Star
for
Wars.
sure.
No, but I did feel like the costumes were all over the place, but I feel like that's part of it. I don't know. I don't study like makeup and hair and costumes, but I feel like that was not. Like they didn't have like a long prep for the costumes. I mean, they looked alright, but
He was wearing fucking sneakers, right? You guys saw that, too, right? He was totally like fucking Clarence.
They
was
they
wearing
had jeans
fucking, like,
under the.
Yeah, I
Under the
figured like,
robes.
oh, cool, okay, like that's the kind of. I was early on. He did like a fucking flip or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And I was like, yep, yeah, it's that kind of movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
That's what I was
No
trying to say.
rules.
I feel like that's that kind of movie.
Yeah,
where
rocking
it's
the
like,
Air Jesuses.
Yeah.
They'll probably know about
Air
it.
J's.
They
That's
doesn't
the
care.
OG
Oh,
J,
right now it's
the
the
original.
Because they made it look like it was like the desert sneakers or whatever, whereas like it matched his clothes
Yeah, like
and stuff.
Yeezys.
You find out, you laugh about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't, it's just a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still have a good time.
Yeah. Fun movie.
Yeah.
Fun movie.
So solid
It's
solid
risk,
average
too.
there.
It
I,
does.
I like
Yeah.
a movie that's not afraid to just try
Do
shit.
whatever,
Like,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
all-
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's important.
I wish more movies would like at the very least just be stylistic like that, but then
Yeah,
all the things
and
we were
take
saying
some of
earlier,
those, like,
just like having people just
And
like who
who
have
was-
like you
who
know
was that
hearing
in
the actual
the
accents,
blue
having like
in the blue makeup? Like you said, Mystique, but
Mystique.
is that biblically like,
No, no.
accurate?
Oh, that was just a random chick in blue makeup. Yeah,
that was just
weird.
a random chick.
Who
I
got
just-
that
I
in?
just-
I want to know who got that in. The director,
Professor X
the-
was in the movie though. so
That
it's
was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, fair enough.
the producers. Who got that in?
They needed to put butts in the seat right there. And you know, people and everyone back in the ancient times, they had they had blood pumping in their hearts too. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
actually sure that was pretty common. Like,
Yeah.
for a chick to just be covered in body paint, that doesn't sound that wild. I mean, I feel like I'd go for that.
yeah.
quick, it's not just a quick nugget. The slave master.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude from Dune.
I know a friend of his. I met
Nice.
a friend of his when I was doing Michaela's stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, I met him there, and then it was like, the guy's British Nigerian. It was like, so it was like, I've got a couple British actors that are friends, and apparently it's if you're from the UK and you're in Hollywood, you'll most likely know all of the other guys from the UK. So that's how it sounded like.
Oh, like that small little, like,
Exactly. I think that was
actors.
Nigerian. It was like, do you know David Oyelowo? I was like, yeah, I know of him. I haven't met him before. I was like, who knows? Maybe you'll see him in the
I
future.
thought he
Oh,
was gonna
bro.
be the
Oh, yeah,
movie
yeah.
more. I thought John the Baptist was gonna be the movie more. You know, that's like
great.
yeah. But
That was
Yeah.
that was a good. I liked that scene.
but yeah.
Oh, when he was baptizing,
It was
bro.
like-
Yeah.
Flop though.
Already drowned him.
I was afraid that he goes to hell, and then his friend is like, "Amen."
I felt like, yeah, that was his journey though. His journey was more about getting saved. You know what I mean? So at the end, he was. At the beginning, everybody was like, "Bro, you're going to hell." And by the end, he was
saved.
Yeah, he was saved. Literally, he came. I mean, spoiler alert: my boy came back from the dead.
Yeah. Well, if they're
At
listening,
the
to this,
end,
they
yeah,
probably
they're still
already,
listening.
you know.
Yeah,
They probably.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we already spoiled some stuff.
We already did.
The entire approach. Yeah.
it's okay.
But you still go see it though.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Go
fun.
see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Then rent it or buy it.
And then in the comments, write your rating.
Yeah.
And shout out to A-List. Like and subscribe. We out.